Competitive COD League fans, how are we doing? My name is Franz and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this 6-man prop for Friday's matches coming up this April 21st. I believe matches start at 3. They may start at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, I'm not entirely sure on that one, but just go check it out. You can find all these matches, all the updates on the Call of Duty League Twitter, and then where I find all of my stats is on breakingpoint.gg. I know a lot of people were asking about both of those. So just to let you guys know about where I'm kind of finding all this information or news or updates on COD. I'm going to go through this 6-man entry we went for today. A really interesting day of matches today. I mean, it did go pretty much as expected besides the Vegas match. We did predict Vegas to come out swinging, but New York, I mean, 3-0'd them. 6-0 in the S&D, one of the fastest S&Ds I think we've seen this year. So that was pretty insane. A lot else to unpack. Bance. 49, man, are you kidding me? 49. I was furious when it was literally a useless kill too. It was like a cross map kill and he hits the over, and that was just a heart wrencher, man. Such a heartbreaker because I mean this prop had a lot of promise. Even if Standy wasn't gonna hit or was gonna be a do not play, if both of these hit, we're walking away with maybe I think it's 10 times on the 5-man entry, so we're still walking away with a chunk of change there. So it's just really unfortunate. The shots he won too, I thought he was gonna pop off in that map 4, but it was Kremp on the Boston team who like had an insane start, got a set of streaks, crazy start for him, and then shots he ramped it up towards the end, but it just wasn't enough. Optic kind of stomped him after it was like very close, and then Optic ran away with it. I think they won around 250 to 180. So I don't know, just not stuff that went our way today. Unfortunately, to hit one of these 6-man guys, you are going to need a little bit of luck. There is a little bit of luck involved. It's not going to be all just, straight sailing or going to be 100% all the time. However, I am going to do my best to execute that. I think this next prop we are going to avoid these map 1 to 3 kills. This one on Fame here bit us also with this 48, 1 over again, like just some COD cheese today, man. I'll just call it a little Call of Duty cheese because that's kind of what it was. We just kind of got fried on a couple of these overs just by 1. It was on these map 1 to 3 kills from the Minnesota team that drained us. We got the slasher one through at map 1 to 3s, and then we also got the SIB one through. So if you did go for this 2-pick entry, we did end up hitting there, so congrats on that one. However, I'm really sorry, guys. I thought I was going to go better today, and I really felt good about our props. Unfortunately, just stuff didn't go through. This Pred one also, the S&D, Atlanta just smoked him in that S&D, so wasn't expecting that. I thought Seattle was practicing their S&D a little bit more than that, but unfortunately it did not show up on the LAN environment. So, I mean, that just happens. I think this next prop, though, this is going to be, I'm going to do my very best, guys, to like really lock down a 6 here that I feel very confident in. I'm going to avoid these map 1 to 3 kills, besides maybe one I'm thinking. And the one I am thinking, I guess we'll just put it in right now because it is pretty much the lock we've been running here for a couple entries now, and it has been coming through. I have been running it sometimes just on the control. However, the control just game mode has been very fluctuated in its score lines. I do think this Minnesota team is an extremely good control team. They did indeed beat LA in that control in their last series, so I do think they're actually a decent control team. So they might end up running a 3-1 or 3-0 hopefully against this, and it will make these kills a little bit less because I think Yuli won't perform in that opening hardpoint as well. This is his first tournament on LAN for this team, so that does play a huge factor, and I do think he will hit the under. We can run through some stats for London if you guys like real quick. This New York match, I do believe he was kind of, I mean, he has 63 over 4 kills, kind of bottom of the team, 11 in an opening hardpoint, 8 in the S&D, so decent there, but ASIM usually is their catalyst for them in S&D. And then, 19 in the control, so he's just kind of in those, like, middle tier, and this first hardpoint's not very good, but, like, I would love for him to drop, like, a 19 around there in this control, but he could go over that line at 21.5. That is kind of a small line for some of these controls, so that's why we're going to only go for the map 1 to 3. We're not just going to go map 3 as I was thinking earlier. So map 1 to 3 Yuli, that's how we're going to start off this prop. I do feel good about that. Next up, we're going to just jump down the line here after we get this this first one in here. This is going to be my only S&D play. We're going to go TJ map 2. I do expect this Florida Vegas S&D matchup to go the distance. Both of these teams are very good at that game mode. And then TJ, he usually kind of beats up on these lower echelon teams, especially in S&D. He plays very, very well, so I do expect him to pop off here in this S&D. I know the line's at 7. You could look at Standy at 6.5. A lot of people were telling me in the comments that sometimes he does hit the under, and I do agree with that. He does definitely hit the under here, so maybe not go for Standy. We do love TJ, though, as he is the Iceman known in the COD community. That's the nickname he's got, and he's just incredible, man. He's a really good S&D player. You can just read people like a book, I guess. So we're gonna go TJ on the more in S&D kills. So pretty self-explanatory there. I don't think I really need to go into some stats there because we have seen a lot of stats on this guy in the past couple videos. We're also going to look at Brack here, guys, on the map 1 kills. I said I'm going to avoid map 1 to 3 kills. This one I was thinking on map 1 to 3 kills. However, I'm just going to go under map 1 kills. And this is very, very surprising, but Brack here is not performing in these opening hard points. If you look at this first one, he's dropping 13 for the team, and it's just both of the SMGs going off. And this was against this Vegas team that they're playing against here in this next match. And then also, if you look at, where was it? The Toronto matchup that we have here, Brack's only dropping 44 on 3 maps, and he has 10 in this opening hardpoint. So really, it's been Fellow who's putting up most of the kills in the AR department, but mostly it's just Capsidal and sometimes Vickle that has a pop-off map. So I think I like Brack here on the map 1 under kills. I'm just going for these like really just dead set one map. I'm not stressing over these map 1 to 3s. I'm not trying to do all this math in this next prop because, man, those are so stressful. And we just missed on 2 unders that I thought were really good locks in Fame and Ban. So I'm really sorry about that, guys. That sucked. And that's why I'm avoiding these map 1 to 3 kills this time around. Next up, guys, do we want to go for a Seattle pick? Yes, we do. They are going up an LAG team who I do think they match up well against in specific game modes, especially this this map 3 control. If we look at some stats here on this one, we go to the LAG and Seattle matchup. They did actually just play. Arcitys, I want to look at that first. He has 17 in this opening hard point. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And then also here, if we go to the control, Pred with 33 in this control, and it did go the distance, and I do expect that to happen again. Pred here with 24. So, I mean, he doesn't hit the mark exactly at over at 24.5. However, they did beat him up at 3-0, and Pred is dropping numbers. So I do really expect this guy to be the catalyst for them also in the control game mode. You just really always know what you're going to get out of Pred. He is the #1 KD this stage. So we're going to go the more here on map 3 kills for Pred. I really like this line at 24.5. Even though it is very high, Pred usually hits this. Ride with me if you want there. I'm not sure any other picks I would like on this Seattle team, especially because they're playing a weak LAG team. They might beat him up in this first hard point in which no one gets the over. Or maybe if you want to take an accuracy on an over, he did beat him up last time when these two played each other. So you could go for accuracy on an over. I personally wouldn't because I missed it last week, and I went for, I believe, an under in my pick yesterday. So I'm just not gonna mess with accuracy this time, and we're gonna go here with Pred on the more. Moving on from there, guys, we have Arcitys, not map 3 kills, but map 1 kills. And this is a bit of a risk here, guys, but I do expect Seattle kind of to smoke them in this opening hardpoint, mainly because Seattle's been playing very well in that game mode. They just beat FaZe in their last series in that game mode. So I do expect Seattle to play very, very well in this, in which Arcitys will not be playing too hot. He's kind of just had a rough go, and I do not think he's going to be performing in this opening hard point. If we go to their numbers in this LAG matchup, I think I did show this earlier, but Arcitys here with 17. Also, we have here with Arcitys 64 on 5 maps. He has 16 in this opening hard point. So there's another one against a kind of a rough Vegas Legion team. So I kind of just expect Arcitys to have a rough go. 20.5 is a decent line for us, and we're going to take the under at map 1 kills, avoiding these map 1 to 3, although you could go for that. However, Arcitys has been kind of putting up numbers in some of those controls, and I just don't love going for the control or the map 1 to 3 if the control is going to be so fluctuated. That number can get so fluctuated if the control really goes the distance. So I'm just kind of being wary of that and being wary of that in some of these predictions moving forward. It's something I have thought about, but not too much in that last prop. I really should have looked at some of the controls and maybe thought about one a bit more. So I do apologize for that. And we're in the lab. We're locking in. We're putting our head down. We're grinding. Here's the final pick of this 6-man. We're going to go down to this Toronto team. I want to avoid this Boston team because I just don't like betting on them most of the time. Awakening had a pop-off map. Kremp had a pop-off map. But you can just never really guess who's going to be the one to pop off. So that's why I kind of avoid it. Sometimes I like to go Nero as he is more of the consistent SMG for this team. But instead of that, we are going to go for this Toronto team, and we are going to go our good friend. Not really good friend. I wish he was my friend. Good friend Scrap. Not on the map 1 to 3. The map 3 kills. We're going to go Scrap here on the Moor. Hold on, I'm tripping. On the Moor. Jeez. Yeah, we're going to go Scrap here on the Moor because it is a very good line for him at 24.5. And if you look at these past controls, Scrap just always puts up numbers in this control game mode. 34 here. Scrap here with 31. So it's just like he's always dropping numbers in these controls. He's always top of the team for them in this control game mode. It would be very surprising if he has an off day. I do not expect him to. Here they're losing and he's still top of the team at 22. So yeah, I just really expect Scrap to hit this number, and I do expect them to play pretty well against this Boston team. However, this Boston team is a good control team. They just beat Optic in a control, so they are a really solid control team. So I do think this one will go the distance to that 3-2, in which Scrap is probably drilling that over. Yeah, that's going to be the 6-man, guys. I'm really liking this play here. I'm avoiding those map 1 to 3 kills outside of Yuli because Yuli is kind of just this new player to the team. I don't expect him to do anything really for this team. But yeah, everything else is just going to be solid, just straight on maps, either over or under. And these are the players that we think are going to hit these marks in these maps. I do have Pred and Scrap, kind of the 2-star players for these specific powerhouse teams. And then we also have kind of the weaker ARs for kind of weaker teams in the league. So I like those. And then we finish it off here with TJ here on the over in map 2, our S&D Iceman, and then Yuli, the new player to the team. So I really like this prop. I do feel very good about this one. We're going to drop our solid Hundy here. I'm going the 100 again. I don't really care. Whatever. I somehow recouped 100 here in these entries. We got, I think, 60 here and then 40. So we did manage to get up to 100 credit, and we're going to just drop it here, homies. Boom, bada boom. Place entry. There it goes. And then we're going to check it out here. A lot of people like to see the full 6-man board right after we finish it. Here it is. I'll go through it one more time. We have Yuli on the under in map 1 to 3 kills. TJ on the over in map 2 kills. Brack on the under in map 1 kills. Pred on the over in map 3 kills. Arcitys on the under in map 1 kills. And then Scrap on the over in map 3 kills. I really like this prop, guys. I do feel very good about this one. I really hope we hit tomorrow. And if anyone's going to hit, this is going to be it because this is the losers round 1 matchups. So I feel like these are the best to predict, I think. Moving forward, it gets a little fuzzy because all of these teams start to play very well. All the top teams are really close. So it gets a little bit tougher then, but I feel really good about these. I feel good about this 6-man. I do hope it hits. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. If you did, like if you're tailing, go sub to the YouTube, support us on Twitter, Twitch. We're going to be getting streams here very soon. I'm just finishing up my couple last finals here in school, working through that, and then we'll get some streams up for you guys very soon. So stay tuned for those. Make sure you're in the Discord. I love discussing Call of Duty, props, anything with you guys. I really love talking COD with anybody. So hit me up in the comments. I would love to talk COD with you guys. And I will see you on the next prop. Peace.